I like how I was like, oh, I'm gonna start a channel and show off all these parts and talk about them and all that. And then I went straight to Las Vegas with my wife, and yeah, so I couldn't do that. But I'm back, and so I think the first thing I wanted to talk about and show on the channel was the Hitman steering wheel. So if you look at these, starting off with my S14, we have the purple one. That's the second rarest color. This one has the most amount of cracks out of the ones I have, but it was signed by Abo Sasakawa from Abo Moon. Then we have the black or the smoked one that's in my Skyline. Um, it's on a Works Bell tilt hub, which is pretty cool. I think this is the best color combination for the car and wheel. Then we have my 350Z, which has the blue one. Sometimes you see a lighter blue, but that's just from sun fade. Then we're going into my Privia, which has the clear one because the van is white. And finally, we have the hardest to find pink one. So the pink one is the rarest because not many people bought them back in the day. And the example that I have here is absolutely mint condition, no rust, no cracking anywhere. So all Hitmans will have a seam here at the bottom. So that's not a crack, as you can see. It's a seam here. All Hitmans will have the official Hitman logo at the bottom. And here you can see better looks of the joints. They're pretty well made, in my opinion. I don't care if they're cracked or whatever. You know, they're not going to chip apart unless they're like dropped a billion times and whatnot. But I've drive with them in all my cars, and they're fine. I've driven the Z hard with it. I've driven the S14 hard with it. And they hold up just fine. And the purple one had a lot of cracks in it. So anyway, and I just wanted to talk about like the controversy on them and people who say, address the people who say I don't get the hype or don't understand why they cost as much as they do. So firstly, I don't get the hype, okay, it's not cool to you, that's fine. I don't think, Nardis are particularly cool. I think they're boring. So I think these are vintage, they're solidly made, and they hold up fine, and they look cool as hell, so cool. Why they cost that much is, okay, I think I can make the analogy like Pokemon cards, right? So they're old, A. B, the condition varies, right? So not only does the condition vary, whether how many cracks it has, whether it has any shatter points, whether how much rust it has, you know, not only that, but it also depends on, what color it is too. So if it's harder to find and it has no cracks, then, that kind of sets what the price is. If it's a little bit less harder to find, but it has a lot of cracks, then what's the price there? So like then in the Pokemon sense, right? Is it a base set Charizard, or is it a modern energy card, or is it a PSA 1, or is it a PSA 10, because of the condition, and that all determines the price of the card, and anything for that matter, like vintage cars, anything, like the condition and what it is, dictates what the price is. An old Corolla, well, that was a bad example. Let's, like a Yugo, an old Yugo is not going to command the same price as an old Corolla, which is not going to command the same price as like an old Shelby. And they all determine on what condition they are too. So there's a lot of debate, I guess, or back and forth that could be had on pricing, because there's no set standard. Not everyone looks the same, and they're hard to find. They're not for sale often, and you never know what condition is going to be for sale at what time, what color's going to be for sale for what time. And I think all these conditions vary, and they play in a factor into what the pricing is and the market. And so that's that part. And yeah, don't buy replicas. The energy ones are shit. They're not as heavy. They don't feel as sturdy. Like, everybody who's held one of these is just like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how heavy they were and solid they were. So don't let the looks deceive you. They're pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.